to size up with you, and when I defang the Viper, trust me, ain't gonna come from nowhere. Jeff, I already put you out. I don't even know why you're out here right now. Keep on talking. Hey, do me a favor. Why don't you act like this is an AA meeting and you shut your mouth while I'm sharing with the group? And Mustafa, you out here, a boy among men. And I'm gonna tell you what, you got lucky at the Rumble, so I know you're gonna come out here and run your mouth about how bad you are. But let me give you a little bit of a reality check. You see, Mustafa, you said that my eyes don't lie. Well, your eyes don't lie either, because last week, they were closed real tight when I put your simple ass to sleep. And AJ, hey man, be honest with me. How's our old girl Wendy doing?
Yes, yes, yes. Welcome back to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. It's me, Hafeez, and with me always is Devin. And we are here. And, well, my inside sources say we are here. We are live. We are recording. According to the sources.
Go to the sources. Yes, yes. Our inside sources. That's what they told us. Ooh. They're good. They're legit.
Oh,
trust
man.
Sources.
Yeah, trust legit. Yeah, 100%. Ironclad. Oh man, well, you know, by the title, y'all probably know we're gonna be talking about some sources. We're gonna be talking about the dirt sheets a little bit here because they were on one this week. They were on one, so we gonna get it.
They
we
was
gonna get it
stupid. Straight
I
up
swear.
stupid. You know what? And I was enjoying it to my pleasure on Twitter, man. It was, dude. They was wilding out.
No!
That's how we gonna kick off tonight's show. Yeah.
You ain't wrong, man. You ain't wrong. I knew. So I'm not really on Twitter like that. So for me, you know, I kind of just imagined what was probably happening. But
I'll let you know though.
I saw. Well, I know that, and I saw, you know, a couple things on like YouTube and on Instagram and social media, and I see the comments, and I'm just like, oh my god, like this is just a mess. This is a mess already, and I'm just inside. I'm like, everybody just relax. You can't trust these damn dirt sheets. We already know that, but you know, it's okay. That's what we're here for. We're here to kind of call out, you know, the dirt sheets on their bullshit. You know, like hold them accountable. You know, at least that's how I see it. You know, because I got beef. I got real beef with a couple of these people. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit.
Hey, y'all people just come on. Just rely on the source.
The
not
actual source.
Right. Not
the real source.
The inside sources. A high-level inside source, Tony.
They're always reliable. They're usually 100%.
And they're puppets. All of y'all Twitter going for puppets.
Dance, puppets! Dance!
Every single one of y'all.
Facts. It was a roller coaster ride for sure. We're gonna get into that. Okay, that's gonna be on the WWE side. We're gonna talk about the
Jack
sale
already. What up, broadcast? What's going on?
Welcome in. Yes. Yeah, you know, we're gonna talk about all that. We're gonna get into it. But we're gonna start off with AEW first. All right. We're gonna, as Devin would say, get that out the way.
Right.
we gonna get that out the way.
Get out the way first. Quickly. Promptly. TikTok.
Roll through these. Oh man. No, I'm gonna say
what up, cuz?
This past episode of Dynamite was decent. It was decent. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good entertainment. All right. It was good, solid, quality entertainment, especially because one of the big things that happened up front beyond the Moxley match with Adam Hangman Page, which we'll get into, was the return. Yes, the return of the man himself, Adam Cole, baby. Yes, sir.
About the boom. Oh, bro, I missed that shit.
Yes.
My first love right here, ladies and
gentlemen. Yeah. Before the tribal chief.
Before the tribal chief. If you've been listening to us the damn near almost 4 years, by the way, it's getting ready to come up in a couple weeks, 4-year anniversary for the Clark Street. But if you've been listening to us since 2019, my first love, the one that taught me how to properly love the tribal chief today was this man right here. My first guy, this guy, Adam Cole. But we went through a rough patch.
You did. I called that shit out too. You sure did. Oh man,
we didn't make it.
No,
we didn't make it.
Hey Adam, you cool with me, man? You cool with me? I have stayed consistent with Adam Cole. You, on the other hand, I don't know.
But I am glad he's back in AEW.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? It was so refreshing, like a renewed sense of energy. And I was like, bro, just give this dude the belt. What MJF doing right now? Just
shit. Oh no. Oh man. See,
Adam Cole, baby. He needs that right now. Immediately.
Bruce.
We need a course change. Pivot.
I can't wait.
Right now.
I cannot wait. You and Bruce. You and Bruce. Oh man, but so the big thing here, I mean, there's not really a debate or discussion to be had too much about this. It's just we're happy to see him. You know, we're happy to see Adam Cole. He came out, and of course, there was some concern around will his career, will he be able to get back to wrestling at all? Because he had some real health concerns, you know, with concussions and just his body in general. Very scary. You know, he in the promo, you know, he talked about it, and you know, it was like a work shoot kind of promo where like he's actually trying to get that reaction from the crowd, but at the same time, like this is some real shit where we really did not know what the future held for Adam Cole. So for him to come out, first of all, with the surprise return out of nowhere, Tony Schiavone saying, this is a dude I got no love for, basically.
That was MJF.
And, right? Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was okay, it's MJF. And then you hear it, you know, and then when the crowd loved it, the pop was great. They were singing along with the song. It was like he had never left. And it was great to just feel that energy from the entire arena and from Adam. You know, he goes into his promo. You know, who's ready for story time with Adam Cole, baby? And everybody loves that. So you know, he goes into it. He talks about it, just everything, the scare of this whole situation. You know, it's a good news, bad news situation. Good news is all the love he got from people saying, hey, I don't even care if you wrestle anymore, man. Like, I just want you to be okay. And he appreciated that. The bad news, and he paused, he said, it's not really for me. It's for that locker room because I am back.
Oh, the setup. He almost had me. Because he did come in. He was like, all right, I got some good news. I got some bad news. I'm going to start with the good news.
Right.
So the setup was perfect. He almost got me with the okie doke.
Yeah. Hey, for me, I had a feeling that he was back, and I had a feeling that he was working us a little bit. I was hoping, though, because you just never know. So the fact that he confirmed it like that, I was like, yes, okay. And I cannot wait to see him get back in there, mix it in, either just like slowly with just storylines and maybe not wrestling right away, or if they want to just jump right into it, I'm cool with that too. However they want to do this, I'm just happy to see Adam Cole back. So, you know, definitely shout out to him. Glad to see he's healthy, and let's go, man. Let's go. It's all about Adam Cole. We're gonna talk about MJF in a little bit.
MJF immediately.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that, man, because I don't know if I agree that it should be immediate. You know, I feel like MJF is doing some good work, but you know, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But moving along here, the match that preceded this this moment was Hangman Adam Page versus Jon Moxley. So this matchup here, one, I do want to talk about the match a little bit, but just overall, I want to talk about just from a story perspective, you know, how we're feeling about what's going on with these two guys. Because basically the story was Jon Moxley and Adam Hangman Page, you know, they had a match previously, like I don't know, it was a couple months ago now or a little while ago. Yeah. And Adam Hangman Page got seriously injured in that matchup. It was a similar situation, a concussion, right?
Yeah, it was a concussion.
So then he wasn't medically cleared, and then they were actually showing, like, you know, their doctors talking to him and telling him, hey, you're not cleared. And it was like week in, week out. You know, Adam wanted to fight, but they were telling him no. And John was saying, like, what's up with all this bullshit? Like, you want to fight or not? Like, what's going on? And Adam's like, look, I do want to fight you, and I'm pissed off, and I'll fight you right now, but they haven't cleared me, but I'll be cleared in time for this past Dynamite. So then finally they have the match. The match back and forth too, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a strong matchup. Like, if you take just the wrestling and take this in a vacuum, I feel like as a pure wrestling fight, like not even wrestling, but like a brawl, like these two brawlers going at it, I felt like they did a great job. And by the end of it, you actually had Adam Hangman Page get the victory. He got the W. And then Jon Moxley, in storyline wise now, he was, a little loopy, and he wasn't like, they were concerned about him and maybe he had a concussion. Right. To then kind of flip it around and you see Adam Hangman Page and there was a look of concern for what he had done potentially to Jon Moxley. So it's kind of coming around where now what Jon did to Adam just did to Jon. There'll probably be another matchup after Jon gets cleared, and then we'll go from there. So from a storyline perspective, what are your thoughts on this? Because we often criticize AEW for lack of storytelling. So here I feel like there's an attempt, for them to try to tell a longer story and to incorporate, whether it was ever real or not for Adam, which I actually think it probably was real in the beginning, and now they're trying to use it. So how do you feel about this attempt at storytelling with these two guys here?
This is decent storytelling because it's a little bit emotional. All right. You can see that from both sides, from Adam Hangman Page, a little bit from Jon Moxley, especially from the perspective of Adam Hangman Page. Had that promo. He talked about, he was concussed, getting checked out. They asked him they asked him like, do you remember your son and what's your son's name? And he couldn't remember that. And I was like, God damn, that kind of hit you in the feels a little bit. So I'm glad they tied an emotional link because they do have stories, but they lack emotional storytelling though. So let me be clear, because people say they do have story. Well, yeah, but they just they lack the emotion. They lack for me to remember. Like, I don't give a fuck about 360 gymnastic moves and nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't mean anything if it's.
They're cool, but they don't mean anything without the story.
Without the story, if it's not tied to it. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is a good first step. Hopefully, this would help elevate Adam Hangman Page going forward, since he did get a clean win over Jon Moxley.
Clean.
So, yep. So I don't know if this is the way they're going to take him out and then he gets to move on, or they get to continue their feud.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm cool with it because of
that's a great point, about, maybe using this to elevate Adam, take Jon off of television for a while, because Jon was supposed to go on a break when he lost the championship to CM Punk. Yeah. And he's been consistently on television ever since then. So maybe this is a way to write him off TV, give him some much deserved, because he's been putting in work. Shout out to Jon Moxley. I think he's been doing an awesome job. And he's been really carrying that torch, carrying that flag, and being the leader of AEW, champion or no champion, right? So for me, I think, okay, that makes sense. I like what you're saying about, now you've elevated Adam by having him get this clean victory over Jon Moxley. Let Adam do some other things. Don't go straight back to Jon Moxley. Like, actually use this to say, okay, he just beat Jon. Now what's next? Like, let's keep having him have marquee matches and build on the storyline, of him just like the rise again of Adam Hangman Page. So I do think that that's pretty cool. So I like that dynamic. Overall, I feel like, I like the storytelling. I just feel like they need more of this, and whether it came from, whether this was big picture thinking from, an AEW staff, we still don't know. Like, is there a writing team or not? I'm going to put this more on Adam and Jon, that, they crafted a great story. Yep. And I hope that Adam, now without Jon, can continue to do this and build upon this with his next dance partner, whoever that may be. Hopefully they can continue telling, a strong story with Adam involved in it as well. So, definitely looking forward to seeing what's next. But yeah, I thought, shout this out because I felt like good storytelling. And now, it's like, okay, where do you go from here? You just have to keep building on this. So
I can admit when something's good on AEW. It's not that hard for me, but at the end of the day, AEW's still trash.
Yeah. Oh man. Well,
what up, Nick? Universal Wrestling Podcast.
Shout out about Nick. Trash, but I know that's how you feel about it. So, but I think little by little with them. Okay, how about this? Real quick. This is kind of impromptu. If they continued, let's say they were more consistent with the storytelling like this, could you see yourself being like, okay, like even giving them more props and maybe seeing them as being more than
yeah, because that's how it was in 2019 when they came. We was all excited, man. It was optimism the way we broke down AEW. We couldn't wait. We had, dedicated episodes to AEW alone.
Right.
It
So,
just wasn't
okay.
included. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not saying.
So you haven't completely given up on AEW. You're the mindset that, hey, if they, which I expect,
I'm hanging on by like
you to,
2 fingers, like.
I know this about you, but I just need the listeners and the viewers to hear it, that you are fair and open-minded, and you can be swayed if they do a great job. So yes, okay.
Sure. Yeah.
I just need them to hear it.
It's still trash though.
Hey.
What up, Kofi? Kofi Winston in the building. Shout out to the Dirty Heels.
Oh man,
Podcast.
shout out.
Yeah.
So yeah, building off of, so we talked about Adam Hangman Page and kind of him using this to elevate to the next level. Another guy, and maybe a couple guys who they seem to also be trying to elevate to that next level would be one Ricky Starks and Action Andretti. So I was wondering if you were going to even be able to find some clip of Action Andretti.
Clearly.
I was like, what is this going to even look like? I wasn't even sure.
You know what? They actually had like a cartoon of him. I should have just used that.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
For entertainment purposes, man. It would have been fitting for the Carson Meddler podcast.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, that would have been perfect. A cartoon version of Action Andretti.
That's the best we got. Who is this dude? Who is he? But yeah, I mean, so they both featured. As I was watching Dynamite, I'm like, are they going to show Ricky Starks? Is he going to show up, or are they going to skip him this week? And it kept, the show was going on. I'm like, okay. And then, Jericho came on. I'm like, all right, this would be a time. And here came Ricky Starks and Action Andretti. I was like, oh, okay. All right. So they're going to continue to try to build these dudes up. So it was nice to see, and Action Andretti, he got the mic for a minute. I'm like, well, we know Ricky Starks is great on the mic.
Yeah.
We know he's going to do his thing. But Action Andretti, because Ricky Starks kind of looked at him for a second, like, are you going to say something? Because, I could keep going. And Action Andretti had the mic and he started talking, and he was talking to Sammy Guevara basically for most of that, and talking about how Tay had, couldn't keep her hands to herself, in that, the last time he was in the ring with Tay, she had her hands in between his legs, leading to talking about the low blow, obviously, right. But the way he put it out there, the innuendo there, Sammy's losing his mind. My guy, Sammy Guevara, losing his mind, mad as hell.
Number 5.
Hey, man.
Which is trending real good on YouTube Shorts, by the way. We got like almost 800 views on that clip.
Nice.
Because he decided to put number 5 as Sammy Guevara. Ridiculous.
I'm standing up for the dude. He ain't done nothing wrong. He's done nothing wrong. People hate. Stop hating. The man's great. Anyway,
learn how to
shout out to him and Tay. Do your thing. Anyway. So yeah, it was cool hearing Action Andretti's voice, him cutting a promo, and dropping some bars on Sammy Guevara, and then you had Daniel Garcia grab the mic too, telling him to shut the hell up and watch his mouth and blah, blah, and I'm with these sports entertainers and my life is on a roll. I'm on top of the world. Like he was loving life. And I'm just like, this is cool. Like seeing Daniel Garcia get some love there and getting some spotlight there, seeing Ricky Starks, Action Andretti get some spotlight. Like I felt like this was another kind of positive view of AEW trying to build on some of these, I guess, somewhat homegrown, but lesser known of the wrestlers, not the WWE former guys all the time, but like actual like people to build up fresh faces. So this was cool. I thought that this promo did a good job of highlighting that. What do you say to that as far as AEW trying to build some new faces? Maybe not stars yet, but build some new faces. Put them out there. Let people hear their voices and see their faces.
It was all right. Action Andretti, I really didn't need him. I wish, call me greedy. I just wanted the story just focus right back on Ricky Starks and Chris Jericho. Period.
I don't blame you for that.
I don't need Action Andretti. Just send him the dart.
But where I love it though is that you had like Jericho seems to really be trying to help this kid. And
he is. I see
and
that.
How mad he is about this kid even being around. Go back to the B leagues or whatever he said. Like he hates him. And that's just gold, man, because that you're getting under the skin of a legend. Like, you're even relevant to this dude. Like, he's upset and annoyed by you. You actually bother him. That gives Action Andretti some cred. So
it does. You're not wrong, but I'm not bought into the story yet of their dynamic, what they got going on. I'm more selective on Ricky Starks and Chris Jericho. Let's focus on that. All right. Let's focus on building Ricky Starks. You know what I'm saying? That the next TNT champion, possibly. All right. Let's focus on that.
So where I'm with you on this is that I feel like, as much as it's fun to see Action Andretti get this love and respect and trying to build him up, I don't want it to take away from Ricky Starks being elevated, and I don't want the attention split too much. When Ricky Starks is on screen, I want us to focus on Ricky Starks. I don't want it to be Ricky Starks and Action Andretti. They're not a tag team, right? We want to see Ricky Starks getting shown as a potential AEW world champion, right? That's what we want. So
new tag name. Action Ricky or Ricky Action.
Oh, no. See, I mean, you jumping the gun a little bit. Yeah, we coming up on that pretty soon, because I had a problem with that. But but I co-sign with the idea of, like, don't let it take away from Ricky, because Ricky Starks really is the guy that could be a star for you guys.
Yes.
Whereas Action Andretti is like, can he be a star? I don't know. He was a jobber just 2 seconds ago. So is he a star? I don't know about all that. But is he talented? Sure. Should they be trying to build new stars and new talent and showing new faces? Yeah, you can, but not to take away from a guy who's like, he's
not the expense of Ricky Starks.
Not at the expense of Ricky Starks, to where he's taking mic time away from Ricky Starks. Like, you know, and what's the story there? Is the story that they're about to team up against, you know, Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara now? Like, is that what's going to happen? Or is it still Chris Jericho that they got a problem with? Or is Jake Hager, you know, and Ricky now going to be the new thing? And, like, it does get a little confusing when you start to think about, like, what specifically is next for Ricky coming out of this. And then with Action Andretti right there, it's like, who's going to be the main focus of this whole thing? Oh, I can't. Yeah, what's up?
You wasn't able to tell, or
okay. Oh no, okay. I lost your mic for a second. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Your mouth was moving. I couldn't hear nothing. Yeah.
All right.
So I mean, from what they showed, clearly it seems like Ricky's attention now is on getting revenge against Jake Hager. Like, that's his immediate, like, okay, I want you, because he told Jericho, move to the side, move your wide body ass over to the side so I can see that dude, right? And they, you know, crack jokes about his lisp and cut him down and said, you know, you ain't shit, basically. And yeah, they're gonna have a match, and then maybe after that he goes back to Jericho, and you know, they have some kind of one-on-one to cement, like, hey, I'm that dude, maybe. But then you had Daniel Garcia, Sammy Guevara kind of getting involved too. Are they going to be involved in this in a tag team type of situation with Ricky and Action Andretti? Or is it Action Andretti versus Sammy now? Like,
sounds so convoluted already.
It feels a little bit, the more I talk about it, the more I think about it, it does feel convoluted. Like, I appreciate.
You're not telling me this right now.
Well, and I'm not trying to. I'm just saying what it is. Honestly, I'm not even trying to sell. I'm literally listening, like, just listing off what happened, and I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, all right, going back to how I started, I do love this from a standpoint of, look at the people that we really heard from. You know, you're hearing from Ricky Starks, and they continued his build from, you know, him having that championship match with MJF. You have Action Andretti, a new face who they're building from upsetting Chris Jericho. You have Daniel Garcia, who, of everybody in JAS, he seems like maybe the next guy to be, you know, a potential star. You know,
I see that.
You got Sammy Guevara, who, I mean, you know, everybody knows now the respect I have for Sammy Guevara, but I think, like, Sammy is another guy who, right behind Daniel Garcia, would be a dude that, yeah, you should be building him. You should be building Sammy as a monster heel. He has the heat, clearly. Like, people, I mean, when they went to,
he's a former TNT champion. How many times did he win that
at least twice? I mean, it might have been 3 times, but at least twice. Because at one point he had both championships. I know he lost to Scorpio Sky, but I think he beat Scorpio Sky to get it back.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, they played hot potato real quick.
That was to me, that was a very messy time for the TNT Championship, unfortunately.
I was like,
that was a real messy time.
What the fuck y'all doing?
Yeah, they didn't know. They didn't know what they were doing. They really, like, especially for Scorpio Sky, that really was janked up for him, because now it's forgettable. I don't even like, oh yeah, Scorpio Sky was TNT champion. Like, I almost forget that happened.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is.
But Sammy, he needs to lean on that though. Like, hey, I'm a former two-time TNT champion.
You're right.
He needs to push. He needs to be like
every time. He needs to not just like Chris Jericho never let people forget that he beat Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock on the same night. Sammy Guevara needs to be like, look, I am two-time or three-time TNT champion. I held both the real and because I think it was Cody. Didn't he beat Cody for it? And he had like, because it was Cody had never lost, but he became TNT champion, and they had both belts on a ladder match, and then he won. Then he created an
interim champion.
Interim champion. You're right. Then he won it, and then he said, "I'm wearing both. I don't give a damn." He was
out for like a month. So.
Right, right.
I don't know.
They love that whole interim thing. I don't know. Long story short, I think that, you know, from what we're saying, I like the fact that new faces were showcased, but
he's a three-time.
There you go. Thank you.
Nick, out to Universal Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
So, looking at it from that standpoint, good news, bad news situation. Good news, you did a good job showing the new faces. Bad news is now the story feels a little convoluted. You can fix it on the next Dynamite, but it does feel a little convoluted with what's next for each guy. What is the story? What is the natural progression for this whole thing? So we'll see. We'll see next Dynamite what they do with that.
Sometimes you just gotta be selfish and you just gotta allow the time to the stars, and then, you know, hey, you didn't make it. Not gonna make it on this live show, man. We got to focus on Ricky Starks and Chris Jericho. That's what we're trying to build. That's what
actually Andretti feels like he's perfect for Dark. You know, like it makes sense. That's the guy who I'd be okay. Like, okay, you know,
people on Dark.
Build up your wins and losses. You know, because the rankings matter. So build them up, you know, add to
the rankings don't matter anymore. They have not been updated.
We know it don't. But that's the story. That's what they like to say. You know, so I'll go with that. For a story standpoint, I'll go with that. You can just say he's building up his wins and losses so he can rise up the ranks. That'd be fine. I'd be okay with that. For him, I'd be okay with that. For Ricky, he needs to never be on Dark ever again. He needs to be on every single Dynamite going forward, and that's it. That's it. So yeah. So I'm with you. At the end of it, I'm with you where it's like, hey, let's not have this take away from Ricky, because Ricky, I'm all about Ricky Starks. Anytime that man shows up, he's gold.
That dude is a future star in the making, man. So lean on that. He got the pipes, he got the moves, he has the charisma. So just keep on building on that. All right.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to David Samuel, man. He is emceeing the chat right now, just making sure, you know, how people doing. So I appreciate that, David. I see you putting in that good work, man. Shout out to man. We're gonna acknowledge you, bro. We're gonna
acknowledge you. There we go.
Get the ones up for David.
Oh man. So now this is gonna be interesting. So we talked about one potential tag team and Ricky Starks and Action Andretti. Now we got another one, a potential tag team that I want to know where you're at with this.
Talking about Warjo?
No, that's it. We're talking about
Thunderstorm.
No, that's dead. And this one might be too. Jungle Hook.
Jungle
Hook.
I had to send you the thumbnail for Jungle Hook. And what's the faction name? I forget. Well, it was Big Bill and who else?
Oh yeah, look, it doesn't even matter. I know the firm. It's the firm.
The firm.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's not even the story. That I could care less about that match. It's look, we had a conversation about, you know, like wrestler names and them changing and it shouldn't matter and this and that. And I feel like as much as, like, for instance, with Walter going to Gunther, right? And at first, I was real upset about that. But I've come around to it, and I'm okay with it now. Okay, because that man's he's above a name. It doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter for him.
Yes,
he can overcome that.
Oh yes,
right.
Shout out to Gunther, by the way, tonight. He put in good work.
Yeah, I wish I would have seen all SmackDown. Saw the main event, did not see all SmackDown, but we can talk about that too. But
I didn't see the main event. I got slightly distracted.
Oh,
so
well,
I was able to finish the main event.
Fire main event on SmackDown. Now this one though, it's like it's so corny. Like AEW is just getting so lazy and corny with these team names that I can't ignore just how like it shouldn't matter, right? It shouldn't.
Yeah.
But this is
professional wrestling.
What
professional wrestling.
Just JungleHook is corny. End it. Like, just I want to see it go away. Immediately.
I don't even want them to be a tag team.
Well, that's the other part of it, right? Does this even make sense for them to be a tag team? I see what you're doing. You're getting these two young studs. The ladies, the girls are gonna go nuts. It's like, okay, like think of the Hardy Boys back in the day, or Edge and Christian back in the day, right? So you take these two young ladies, good-looking dudes.
To sell them ladies they have as fans because they don't have women matches.
I'm trying to justify why they're doing this because that would be what you're trying to get, right?
Hey man, like, I'm just going off the statistics that I see.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I feel like Toni needs to get your research right to understand what's really going on. But if I'm putting these two together, it's like, look, these are two young heartthrobs. Okay, cool. And then they're also two up and coming potential stars for the company. So you want to put them together and maybe build up this story where eventually they fall apart. We just did this with War Joe.
Potential star for Jungle Boy? That don't make no sense. See?
I'm getting there. Okay. I'm getting there.
You know what? I'm gonna zip it.
I'm getting there.
So you got this. My fault.
No, but so you got again the rehashing of the same story that we had with War Joe, and we had the same thing with Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm. Put them together, but then they don't quite fit together, and then they end up turning on each other or having a fight or having a match. That's where we're going with this. Okay, cool. So, but we've seen it before, so I already feel like I already know where this is going. Like that tag match meant nothing to me. I see them together, and I'm just like, this doesn't work. This doesn't do anything for me. Then you have Jungle Boy coming off of a feud that I really did not care about whatsoever. And I feel like Jungle Boy could potentially be a star. But the way that they've built him, I just feel like it's there's just a lack of really caring about how we're going about it and how we're getting there. Like the man's story just came off as lame by the end of it. I just did not care. He had a cage match with his best friend and I did not care. And now you're putting him with Hook. And I'm just like, you're just mashing these two guys together. They got nothing to do with each other. And I know you don't like Hook. Hey, I love Hook. I think Hook is great. Okay. For what he is, I think he's great. But it just doesn't make sense to just throw these two guys together. Like storyline wise, Hook just came out to save him. And I didn't get why. There wasn't like a previous issue where Hook had a problem with those dudes too. He just, why? Why? Right. Well, because I guess Toni was just like, yeah, this will be fun. This will be cool. But yeah, from a story perspective, it's like, it just doesn't make any sense. Make it make sense. If the firm had said, hey, we don't like Jungle Boy, we're going to go after him. Cool. And then say, we're going to go after Hook as well. Because, we see that these two dudes, they're getting all of our TV time. They're getting all of our matches. Let's take out these two because they don't deserve the matches. We deserve the matches. And then these two go, you know what? Damn this, bump that. We're going to work together to get our revenge against both of these guys. Like if Hook had gotten jumped before by the firm, and then he came out to help Jungle Boy as he's getting jumped, that would have made sense. But they had nothing to do with Hook as far as I saw, unless something happened on Dark. They had nothing to do with him.
Watching Dark, man.
Exactly. Right.
So it didn't happen.
So it didn't happen. They had nothing to do with Hook, and Hook showed up. I'm like, what? Like, it's clear they're just trying to force.
Big Bill. I'm like, really?
They're just trying to force it together.
That's how y'all do Big Bill like that.
So, okay. So that's a whole nother thing where, because I feel like I understand the Hook character, I was cool with that. Now, I get it from your perspective where you're like, nah, but for me, I can understand where they're trying to build Hook as like Hook is a phenomenon. Hook is like when I watch him, it's just fun to see this kid be able to do these great wrestling moves. It's like it's hard to say, but like Zach Gowen back in the day, in WWE, right? Yeah. One-legged dude. What the hell? How is he able to do this move or that move or whatever? It was almost like an attraction to see Zach Gowen be able to do these amazing things, right? Or even a Spike Dudley, like he's a small dude, but he goes out there and it's like, oh, he's like hardcore with everybody else. Like, oh man. So I feel like with Hook, it's kind of one of those things where, yes, you have to suspend your belief, but for him, he's the son of Taz. He's pulling off these wrestling moves. Cool. He's highly trained. He has the stone face, and you look at him like, this kid, like, who's he gonna throw around? Is he strong enough to actually lift this dude up? And then you see him do these things, and it's like, okay, like it's almost comedy with not actually labeling it comedy. Like that's the way I see it. It's like you just have to look at it and say, I'm gonna have fun with this and not take it so seriously that it's like, oh man, but this logically doesn't make sense. Like I don't get it. It's not about the logic.
When you have a new guy who just newly renamed Big Bill, which I think is a cool name. It's short, you know what I'm saying? It describes his stature, and then he gets suplexed
because it's Hook.
By Hook. No, you know what? I would have allowed it if it would build up to a story, but this was just like, as soon as we meet, bam, yeah.
But that's because Hook, previous to this, like he's been having these matches where he's dominant, and so for fans of Hook, you do expect, he's going to be able. Hook can do anything. Hook is like a mythological character at this point. Hook can leap tall buildings in a single bound. Hook can fly. Hook can do like I'm serious. Like this is what Hook is.
Well, it seems like he's
a superhero
for WWE then.
What's that?
Well, it seems like he would be perfect for WWE. Then.
Oh yeah, he would be. No, 100%. I know AEW faithful are gonna hate that, but it's true. Yeah, Hook is a character. Like literally, he is basically a superhero. Where it's just like there is nothing this kid can't do. He looks like it's like how you look at One Punch Man and you say this dopey looking dude, man, what the hell? And then he literally, one punch, no effort, and destroys the biggest, baddest dude. Yeah, that's Hook. Hook is One Punch Man.
Hell, bro,
he's One Punch Man. No. That's what he is. You don't want to accept that, but to fans of Hook, that's who he is. Literally, that's who he doesn't look the part. But when he goes out there and he does what he does, it's just like, what? How is this kid? All right.
Oh, man. You're just ruining it. Look at my lips. You're ruining it. Ruining.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to speak your language. I'm trying to help you understand the dynamic of Hook.
I can't.
And you know what's funny about that? I'm not a fan of One Punch Man. I just don't. I don't really like it. I don't get it. There's no like the story of it is so like boring to me because he's so unstoppable. It's a rough patch.
Yeah, exactly. But man, there were some raw ass fights. You know what I'm saying? Me and my son, when he got towards the end of season 1, I'm like, okay, he actually got challenged. Okay,
there you go. See, I like that. I didn't even get that far, so I don't even know.
Yeah, but I get it though.
I'm like, like I know every episode he's gonna win now because every time he goes out there, they can't do shit to him, and if he even touches them, they explode. It's like, the fuck, what is happening?
They do all this shit, mega combos, ultra, and he's just like, like atomic bomb.
I'm telling you, that is what AEW fans of Hook see. When they look at him, you don't accept it. I understand you don't accept it, but I'm telling you, they look at him, they say, man, if Hook went against the biggest, baddest, it don't matter. Hook can beat him. He can do it because it's Hook. That's what they see.
Man, fuck that guy. All right. Hook, no, doesn't work for me.
And I get it. I'm just trying to help relate it to you so you can kind of understand the other side. Because I get your side. You look at him, you're like, where is he? This This dude right here,
Yeah,
like he's doing that to Big Bill. Like, look at him. He's like half his size. Like, how is he doing that? I get it.
Let me make it crystal clear to the audience about Hook.
I'm not making myself clear. I don't give a fuck.
Period.
Like the way that you like, I'll put it to you in a way too that I can understand where you're coming from. Dom, for instance, as an example, right?
Oh,
so you look at Dom and you say they're doing that realistic. They're doing it realistic. No. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying though. So Dom gets in the match. Let's say Dom was in that match with Big Bill. Big Bill's beating his ass. Dom's not gonna have a moment where he just suplexes Big Bill. Like WWE treats that realistic. Like, okay, Dom will act like a hard ass, but then he gets out there and he gets his ass whooped, and then he gets help from Judgment Day, and that is logical because you look at Dom, you said, Dom's not going to be able to beat this dude. Yeah. And then he goes out there, and he's like, oh shit, no, please, sir, don't hurt me. I'm just a kid. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, that's Dom.
Please, sir.
And it's entertaining, and it's funny, and it's realistic because that's right now where Dom is at. He's not on a lot of these dudes' level. So, whereas with Hook, they take a character who you look at and you say, this dude shouldn't be able to do anything. And instead of him actually not being able to do anything, he goes out there and he's whooping people's asses. And you're like, how is he doing that to this dude? To that dude? To this dude? I can't buy this. Look at this man. He's scrawny. This dude. How? How, Sway? How? That's you. And I get it. I think you're looking at it from a very logical standpoint. And you don't see the logic making sense. It doesn't make sense to you.
It doesn't make sense at all. Yes,
I get it.
For the story, it doesn't. But I get it though because it's professional wrestling. All right, it's
Danhausen curses people,
right?
He curses people. It don't make sense, right. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So Hook, do your thing, man. I get it. I understand it. Not everybody will. It's okay. It's okay. Hook is one punch.
Look, we got in the chat.
Hey,
Johnny.
No,
Johnny. Hey,
no,
I got you, Johnny. I got you. We're going to acknowledge you. We're going to do it the right way, Johnny.
You there, sitting at home, acknowledge me.
Look at Paul Heyman.
That's right.
My man was on his marker.
Man. Just before that, Trey, I saw that would say Hook is one punch man.
Yeah, my cuz.
Yeah.
Cuz. We're gonna have a talk. Cuz when we meet at Uncle House, man, we're gonna have a conversation about that, bro. I ain't gonna forget about that. I'm like,
you don't have to agree with it. It's not, you're not saying Hook is one punch man, but that's how the audience is seeing that, man.
Exactly. I don't have to agree, but I just want to understand though. I want to understand it, but it still don't make sense, man.
I got you. I got you. That first time I saw him, I said, what is this going to look like? And then he went out there and he's suplexing people. I said, huh? What? And the crowd was loving it. And I'm just wanting to have a good time. I'm like, damn it, this is a good time. Let's enjoy this. And then it keeps going. It's like the joke keeps going. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm with it. So, hey, man, it's cool. All right. What we got up now? Oh, it's your favorite heel. It's your favorite heel. Let's talk about the road to MJF and Bryan Danielson. Oh, man, and that slander you were talking earlier. We give you an opportunity to start this off, man. Tell us how you really feel about the AEW champ, the Dynamite Diamond Ring, 4-time Dynamite Diamond Ring holder, MJF.
That's right. My favorite heel, as of right now, my favorite heel in AEW until Adam Cole changed that. We don't know. That is my first love. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? You can easily drop the fifth. All right. And you can easily drop the fifth if you ain't on your shit. All right. Because he is going through a rough patch. The shit is getting boring. It's the same promo. It's the same shtick. When does it change? Can we get a different?
It's the same thing over and over and over. It's like missionary position every single night.
We need a new position. You change it up. This is just getting routine now. I know what to expect.
Man. Hey, look, the way I look at it here is that's funny. This dude, he's going out there, and if you're listening to the crowd, right? Like I get what you feel, but when you listen to the crowd reaction to the things he's saying, like when he was picking out celebrities at this last one and he was going in on each one, the crowd's eating that shit up. So I feel like he has the connection with that AEW audience and that AEW crowd. And what I feel like, I was watching Ric Flair videos, like just on Instagram, and there was a couple fan pages and they had memes with Ric Flair, and I'm listening to Ric Flair and I'm saying like that if MJF is watching anybody and trying to learn anything from anybody, it should be Ric Flair, because he has like a similar gift of gab to Flair. I'm not saying he's Ric Flair, but he has a similar gift of gab, and Ric Flair was able to do it in a number of different ways. And, if Ric Flair could have been, allowed to curse more on WCW or WWF, maybe it would have sounded like MJF and the things he was saying. Ric Flair was so disrespectful, talking about telling kids, hey, you shut up, or, I'm going to take your mom or your sister or whoever, blah, blah, blah. Exactly. And telling this dude, no, exactly. And you saw what MJF was doing, over here, talking about some 60 minutes, people saying I can't go 60 minutes. Well, I want all of y'all to ask your mom, ask your wives, ask your sister if I can go 60. I'm the real Iron Man of AEW. It was like the same shit that a Ric Flair had done back in the day. So for me, it's like, hey, I see the gifts. I see, I enjoy it. I know it's the same thing as far as like, being real rude and disrespectful, like talking about families and moms and all this shit. But at the same time, one, he's connected with that audience. He's getting the right reaction from the audience as a heel, right? And two, that's what a guy like Bryan Danielson needs leading into a match like this is a heel. He was at the point where people were cheering him and seeing him almost as a face, even though he was still a bad guy. And now he's actually gotten the people to get back to really booing him again. And again, going against Bryan Danielson, that's the dynamic you want. You don't want the cool heel necessarily going against Bryan Danielson.
I'm not saying he needs to be a cool heel. I'm just saying he just needs to change it up. But it's
working for the crowd, though.
I don't care about the crowd.
But
I don't give a fuck about
I'm sure AEW cares about the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the business.
Well, that's cool, because AEW is formatted for a live audience, not for a TV show. Okay. All right. Because you go there, you get the experience. MJF live. I get it. It's different from seeing on television where you're there in the crowd and he's just delivering all this somewhat ether bars and you're like, yeah, we suck. Oh, yeah, all that good shit. I get it. But all right, I know your shtick now, man. You gotta throw a little something in. Add something to your character. Change it up. All right, because it's getting stagnant, and you already had the belt for no longer than a couple months so far, and it's getting boring already. And you're a heel, and you're a heel.
You're saying you're bored.
You're a heel.
I don't think the fan base. I don't think the fan base is.
Thank you, Stone Cold.
If the crowd is sitting there saying boring, fine, but he's there in front of the crowd and he's reacting to what the crowd is giving him, and the crowd is reacting strongly. You could say, for instance, a John Cena was stagnant and stale and did the same thing for too long, sure, but he got a reaction, right? Like, hate him or love him, John Cena got a reaction for all them years. And as much as you love the tribal chief, right, this has been like 3 years of him being this character. And as far as like changing it up and being like, I'm fine with what he's doing, and he can keep doing this for the rest of his career, and I'm cool with it. But he hasn't really changed anything about his heel character since he started as the tribal chief. And I don't say it's a bad thing. So I think more of what it is overall that I will say for you, again, I'm here, man. I'm here for you, is the story and the way that they're telling this particular story that's mimicking the same shit that he did with other faces. For instance, the trials of, well, not all faces, some of them heels, but like putting these wrestlers through the trials or whatever before they get to him. Like, that shit is boring. That shit is stagnant. Yes, I agree with that. But as far as MJF and what he's doing, if you put this in the context of a better overall story, I don't think you're saying what you're saying, because it's really, you're about the story. You're about, bigger picture, making me care. And right now, you don't care about the story. You don't care about Bryan Danielson and MJF. There's nothing there for you to really sink your teeth into.
And it sucks because his character is getting redundant to me along with the storylines that you're telling me with it. So if you were to give me fire storylines but yet your character remains the same, okay, that's cool, because now we're getting something different,
right,
but you're the same character. Okay, I can work with that act.
Because I don't think changing his character will save the storyline.
And I'm not even asking for a change. I'm just asking for just add to it. Like, what? Maybe you go face? I don't know.
No, I don't think you can do that now, especially with Bryan Danielson. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. He becomes a face and then goes against Bryan. Like, no, I think it's the story. I think the story is definitely stale, because we've seen this with MJF multiple times.
Well, maybe so for the story is exposing or putting more of a spotlight on his character then.
No, I don't think that's what it is.
I think so. I think so because if the story was cool, then I wouldn't be focusing so much on his character as well. But since the story is redundant, now I'm seeing the same thing. You come out, talk about someone's wife, mom, cool. All right, commercial, and
but here's okay. But something you said was if he turned face, then maybe you would be more with it. Like, so a heel face turn, but then if he still, because sometimes when they change from heel to face, their characters don't actually change. It's just more maybe their motivations is what change. So my point in bringing this up is I think about Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch hasn't really changed since she became the man. Right, she may go by different monikers here and there, big time Bex, but really, the way that she cuts her promos, it's been the same ever since then, right? And I feel like there was a time where I feel like Becky felt like she needed a change, but I also think part of it was because it was the same story every single time with her as a face. Like, there was nothing interesting about the story. I wouldn't say Becky sucked. I would say that the stories were just boring at a certain point. And she was winning, but it's like, I just don't care. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I think Becky's a great character, and I think she can cut her promos the same way, do her thing, but then just tell a better story. Give her an opponent that actually feels like a threat, and have her lose, because Becky chasing it just feels better than Becky as champion right now. But it didn't have anything to do with necessarily her character. It was about the overall story feeling stagnant. I feel like even on the show, we probably said, yeah, Becky feels stale. But looking back at it, I feel like it wasn't really the case of Becky being stale. It was more of just her storylines just felt like they didn't matter. It just wasn't it just didn't.
Yeah, she would just win and move on. And
right.
Next challenger.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What was that, Hell in a Cell with Sasha Banks? And we thought they should have just flipped it right there.
Yeah. I like that. Exactly. They flip it. Then it's like, okay, now we have a totally different dynamic for her, and she can still cut long-winded fire promos, and I would be in it, but I just need a twist to the story just to shake it up, because I feel like I'm in the same thing over and over again. And to your point about MJF, I think that's maybe where it's stale, where does this feel any different from what we've seen storyline wise from MJF? Because I'll tell you here too, even from Bryan Danielson's standpoint, I feel like this feels stagnant and stale. And I don't think his character, there's not a problem with his character.
No. I think I hear what you're saying. On
the story he's in right now is like,
that's why I said Adam Cole immediately, because he could come in, he could be that heel and be a smarter heel than MJF. And then, like you said, it could be a dynamic change in motivation for MJF now.
Yeah.
Like, because he thought he was going to hold this title forever, but things changed. Adam Cole and changed the game.
Yeah.
He's that top heel now. Now you got MJF chasing. Yeah. That could be cool. That could be a different story.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't need to change the character, but now his motivation is very different now.
Yeah. I think that is I'm interested in that. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like these characters that we're all talking about, Adam Cole, MJF, Bryan Danielson, if put in the right storyline, these guys can kill it. They just need that right story. So, and I'm obviously AEW is not the place to trust great storytelling. Whereas under the WWE structure, I feel like all these dudes, we can see. I mean, we've seen it with Bryan Danielson. We've seen it with Adam Cole in NXT. Maybe in the future we'll see it with MJF and WWE. Who knows? But man, I just feel like that's where it's at. This story is stale and it needs something different. Maybe Bryan Danielson needs to not win. Maybe he needs to not face MJF. Maybe Bryan Danielson should lose and throw people for a loop and be like, oh, wait a minute. Like, we're not going to get the Iron Man match. And then something something completely different has to happen for Bryan Danielson to earn that match. And I don't know. I just feel like they need to change it up. They need to do something to make, because right now it seems very predictable. We know what's going to happen. We know Bryan Danielson is going to run through everybody. They're going to have the Iron Man match, and Bryan Danielson is going to lose somehow.
God.
Like, that's what it's going to be.
There's this Iron Man match to be boring as hell to me, because
there is a potential
out of the story right now. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I don't.
No,
MJF, do better.
I'm not looking forward to the Iron Man match. I'm not. I have a lot of love for both wrestlers, and I'm not looking forward to a 60-minute Iron Man match between these two, because there's nothing pulling me in. Like, look, if you said you were going to have an Iron Man match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, I'm in.
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
Those two have a long history. You can feel the emotion when they go against each other. There's some real emotions are invested.
Promo they had earlier before they fought.
Yeah,
fire.
That's what I'm saying. You
fire.
You care. Yes. Or even back in the day with a Shawn Michaels and a Bret Hart, oh my God, like this is the torch is being passed. Like, what is happening right now? There's no torch being passed here. There's nothing. It's like Bryan Danielson is not beating MJF. It's just not happening. We're too. We know how this works. We know this is not happening. They're just trying to make MJF seem like a bigger star by having him beat Bryan Danielson in Bryan Danielson's.
Is that going to do anything for him, though?
No, it's not. It's not. It won't matter. They want it to, but it won't, because he's going to win by underhanded means. And the match, like you said, it already feels like we're not excited about the match anyway. No. It's just going to happen where I'm like, okay, that's over with. Cool. That's
that card better be fire, too. Like, if I'm watching AEW pay-per-view, the matches leading up to that Iron Man match better be perfect.
Yeah.
Because if it's not, I'm asleep. I'm taking a nap.
Man, I took a nap and missed the whole damn thing. That's what I'm saying.
That's what's going to happen.
Hey, we're just keeping it real over here. Just keeping it real. All right, let's talk about the women's division of AEW. Let's talk about this tag matchup. Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker versus Saraya and Toni Storm, featuring Hikaru Shida. Now, this honestly isn't even about the match, right? This is just about the situation of the AEW women's division and, them featuring, these two teams. I feel like I'm happy that we got to see all of these women in this match and then get their moment. I mean, we're used to them having one matchup, each week, in the women's division. We get that one.
AEW, we damn near used to it now.
We're used to this.
Gear 4.
Right. Hey, it is what it is. Now, a couple of things here, dynamic-wise, with all of them. I feel like Jamie Hayter, I want to see Jamie Hayter stand out more in the women's division as champion. Yes. I feel like she just is in danger of getting lost in the shuffle. I was excited when she won the championship, and I'm excited to see her continually showing up week after week after week. But it feels like she is not. She feels like the champion, but she kind of felt like a footnote, like on the same level as of everybody there.
Star, you're a co-star.
She felt like a co-star, right? It was an ensemble piece at best. It wasn't Jamie Hayter featuring, all these other. It was like all of them together on the same level, and then featuring Hikaru Shida, right? So that's how I felt about this whole thing. And then I put it that way in the notes on purpose, because with Hikaru Shida, I like the fact that she wasn't forgotten. I was afraid she wasn't even going to show up. I was afraid that they were just going to have this tag match and she'd have never showed up, right?
Yeah.
But they did at least have her appear, and then she affected the match by throwing in the kendo stick. And then, it seems like, okay, there's going to be issues between Saraya and Shida, and potentially even Storm and Shida with all of this. So one, I hate the disrespect that Hikaru Shida gets. And it seemed real disrespectful the way Saraya did her, saying, I'm with the best, women's wrestler in the world, and looks at Toni Storm and Shida's there. And I get it, it's part of the storyline, but it also kind of feels like what art is imitating life a little bit with that storyline. And that's kind of how AEW has treated her. So hopefully they're using that and they're conscious enough of this to say, we're going to use that in Hikaru Shida's motivation now. And she's like tired of being disrespected, tired of being this not underutilized talent, and she's going to stand up for herself. But I also feel like in a weird way, they may turn her heel. I don't want her to be a heel because to me, she's not a heel in the situation. She was the one disrespected. She should be the
slighted. She got slighted right there. Like Saraya's actually the heel. Because how you gonna do that?
Exactly.
How you gonna do that? You gonna say I'm about to wrestle. I'm about to tag with one of the, or not one. You said the best women's wrestler. You can say one of the best.
She's saying
you excluded everybody in that women's division except for Toni. So that's basically what you did.
Yep.
And I saw the face on her, Hikaru Shida.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
Exactly. So seeing that, I'm like, okay, I hope they go the right route with this and really use this as motivation for Shida. And I don't want it to look like, well, she's, the heel because now look at how she threw in the kendo stick and tried to screw over. Like she did it on purpose. Like, no, to me, that's lame. What it is Saraya was mad. She was real disrespectful to Shida. Just like AEW has been disrespectful to Shida all this time. When she was champion, she was treated like, she did not belong. She wasn't that important. And then here we are still, all these years she's been there since day one. And 4 years later, here she is, or 3 or 4 years for AEW? 4 years. 4 years later.
2019, the exception of AEW.
Right. And she's still looked down upon. It's just it's goofy the way they've treated her, but I hope that this gets used in a storyline. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And again, with Jamie Hayter, the way I say, because Britt Baker's fine. And actually, it's so funny the way that you made this whole picture. Britt Baker, it looks like she's holding the championship in the images, and that's kind of how I see the women's division.
I didn't even notice that until you pointed it out, bro.
Right.
Wow. Now that you look at it,
it looks like Britt is holding the championship. So it's probably most accurate with how AEW views their women's division is that no matter what's going on, Britt Baker is the top female in that division. And that's cool. I don't have a problem with them continuing to show love to Britt Baker. But Jamie Hayter needs to stand out. They need to figure out a way to have her stand out and really be represented as
she gets a strong reaction with the crowd,
the
and they need to keep on just keeping that momentum going before it just become lackluster, like with the previous women champions, like Toni Storm, Thunder Rosa, Shida. They need to avoid this. The only one who came out from the other side that's unscathed was Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Britt Baker, that's it.
Yeah, she's the one that held it down, man. So they need to change it up. Actually, they should pivot. They should do Saraya versus Shida.
Yeah,
they should do that.
Yeah,
you have an emotional link right there that you can just lean on because Shida feels slighted. She got beef with Saraya. Like, hey, how you gonna do that? Me on national television right there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got beef.
Right. Because it's just so the way they told it felt weird to me that they even went that route to have Saraya disrespect Shida. Like, I'm like, where is that coming from? Like, it was just so weird and blatant.
It was out the blue. It was out the blue.
So, and you knew, like, okay, they're trying to start some kind of internal strife between these three women, but doing it that way was kind of like, Saraya's got to know she did that shit on purpose. She, for whatever reason, has beef with Shida and decided she was going to embarrass her in front of everybody by saying, I'm with the best wrestler in the world, Toni Storm. And Shida's right there like, well, you brought me out here for this? You should have just left me where I was and just brought Toni. Why am I sitting here and you gonna say that? Like, yeah. So Saraya is the heel in this whole situation.
Yes, it is
Shida
decided.
is the face. Yes.
It is decided.
All right. So
but they need to fix this story. There's too much. They're telling too much.
There's
they
too
need
much
to simplify it. Yeah. I get it. One woman. I know you said, hey, they are who they are, but still. Come on, man.
Hey, this is a perfect scenario where you can have two women's feuds going on at the same time. Literally, you could have Saraya and Shida, and then go ahead and break this up between Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Because you know what match I would have removed? I don't need Darby Allin and Samoa Joe. I would have took that off.
Really?
Yeah, why even Samoa Joe even losing?
Oh,
why is he even losing?
Oh, we don't even. Well, okay, we got to talk about that. Even though I don't have this as a topic, let's just talk about that real quick. Okay, so you had a problem with Samoa Joe losing the title in Darby's hometown. They were in Seattle.
Yeah.
And, the whole pep talk from Sting and all that. So, just talk more about that. Say more.
So I get it. We're in Darby's hometown. It's practically a no-win situation, but you change up the match then. Give him a casket match with someone else that he can build a story with. That casket matches are his thing in his hometown, but it made a lot of sense. He doesn't need to be with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe got his own thing with Wardlow. So why the fuck is he even losing the belt? The TNT, the belt that he took off of Wardlow. What are we doing, bro? What? I'm done. I don't even know why I'm ranting. I don't give a fuck about AEW. I don't give a fuck.
They got you invested though. Look how mad you getting.
Look how Joe. It's Samoa Joe. You can't do Samoa Joe like that dirty. You can't.
Yeah,
he's a star.
It caught me off guard.
King of television for what, a month and a half, and you're done? And you're done by Darby Allin, an 80-pound kid emo? Dude, it's wrestling. It's wrestling. I get it.
Getting worked up. They did something. They got you, feeling emotions.
It was not for Samoa Joe, because I'm actually invested in the Samoa Joe character.
Yeah, no, I like
where they was going with the TNT title. For him, it was the actual focus, and he put spotlight. He gave it.
Yeah, I get it. It's like Miro all over again. It's like Miro.
Yes, King of television. It felt like we was on that trajectory, but this is AEW.
Well, and it's funny. Didn't Darby beat Miro too? Right? Was it Miro or was it Miro that beat? I'm trying to think of who Darby beat to win the first round. Or was it Cody?
He beat Cody.
And then Miro beat Darby.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yep. And I think it was then maybe Sammy that beat Miro. I don't know. I will have to go look at that. But
yeah, it was.
I can understand where you're coming from, being that you were so invested in Samoa Joe, and it feels like we haven't even lived in that story long enough. We haven't even been in it that long. And they've already ended that reign. So now it's like, okay, I guess he's just the ROH champion and he's just going to be doing the ROH thing. And they're trying to maybe separate that now.
So Wardlow's going to be in Ring of Honor.
Wardlow,
are you going to get the Honor Club app?
I think what you need to do is take Wardlow out your mind for a second, because I don't know that they care about Wardlow anymore. I don't know why. I don't know what the hell is going on. We don't have necessarily a where's Wardlow thing going on even right now, because it just seems like he's super irrelevant now, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Needed for him, man.
Yeah, it's just he's irrelevant, and I don't think they made the decision even thinking about Wardlow. I think they just thought, hey, it's probably more about ROH, that we're gonna have Joe focus on ROH. And Darby, hey, he's in his hometown, get this huge pop, do the confetti, Sting comes out, hugs his kid, like just feel good moment. That's what it was. That's what it was. I get it. I understand why, what they're doing, but it's kind of like, honestly, when the Acclaim won, I kind of felt the same way, where it was like, we're just getting into, swerving our glory, like build them as heels, like let them have a longer term storyline. And it's just like, I don't know. They just decided, hey, we're gonna end it now.
Yeah.
It sucked.
By the way, you're frozen.
No, I see that.
Yeah,
So
I
don't know.
double check. I'm like, let me look on the live feed. I'm like, yep, he's frozen.
Yeah, I see that.
I guess it'll self-correct itself.
Oh man, like, cause there's nothing. I don't want to like log out and log back in. Should I try?
You know what? We're live. Fuck it. Hey, things happen. People understand.
All right, hold it down while I try to log back in and see what the hell's going on.
Hit the refresh. I'll hold down, see what's going on in the chat. What up?
Okay, we good?
Okay,
so that was quick.
Easy fix.
All right, I just refreshed. Literally just refreshed.
All right,
yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay.
I didn't even get to the chat yet. I was like, damn, that was quick.
We doing it live. We doing it live. Oh man. All right, cool.
Oh, what up, Dom? Shield brother in the house. Got you.
Nice. Yeah, there we go.
What up,
there we go.
Fam, been watching with the Lady Psycho on the hush.
I refuse to get used to it. I feel you. I'm not gonna drive myself crazy, hoping for something I feel like is never gonna happen, because that's just who Tony is, and what he wants for his company. And it's just, if I want to, here's the thing. I don't want to stop talking about the women in AEW, because I feel like they have very talented women there that are doing great work.
Yeah, I never want to do that.
We're definitely going to keep talking about it, but I guess I'm
put enough spotlight on them, so we're going to give it to them.
We're going to do it, It's just kind of believing this man's going to do more matches is
believing this man.
One of those things. I'm out. I'm out in believing that he's going to change his ways. So, but let's change our ways. Let's switch gears to WWE. Let's talk some WWE a little bit here.
Oh, WWE! Oh man, let me get the graphic ready. Oh, get the mood change. Yeah,
there it is.
WWE.
So
man, let me play my clip, man. I gotta do it right. What's Sharp at? Shannon Sharp at? I'm gonna let you talk, Shannon Sharp.
Oh boy! Yeah!
At least he gets to talk somewhere,
Right.
Like, somebody gotta let him talk. Let that man talk.
Damn, Skip! You got it, Skip. You got it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. Skip, he needs to calm down. That man needs to calm down. Jeez, let Shannon speak.
You exposing your damn self, Skip. Shannon ain't even got to say shit. That's why he was like, "You got it, Skip. You got it."
Oh man, but yeah, so lots going on with WWE, and there's lots going on in the ring, but there's a lot going on outside of the ring, and there's stuff that we know factually is happening that's coming from people within WWE, actual factual, like Stephanie McMahon releasing actual press releases saying her situation specifically from her own mouth, from her own accounts. And then we have other bullshit coming out from the dirt sheets, as we're going to talk about too. So let's start off with Stephanie. Stephanie, I salute you. She is a wonderful woman. She has done a wonderful job, in WWE as co-CEO, and even before that within the organization too. And so I just say, like, one thing she said is she took that leave even before all this happened. Mm-hmm. Then Vince had to, he retired. He went into early retirement with everything going on. And so she came out of her leave of absence to come back to help run the company while he was gone. Now Vince is making moves, and they're talking about potentially selling the company and TV deals and all that. So, and he's majority shareholder. Yeah. So he comes back, and he's back as CEO.
My company.
Right. He's back in charge as the head of the board of directors. So Stephanie says, hey, you know what? With Vince back, and I was on my leave before, I'm going to not only leave again and go on another leave, but I'm going to go further, and I'm going to resign, you know, and for her own personal reasons, she's doing that. So much respect to Stephanie McMahon. She's done a great job. She's synonymous with WWE forever in my eyes, and I just salute her and wish her the best in whatever it is she does. If she were to come back, if she weren't, whatever it is she does, I hope the best for Stephanie, because she has just been nothing but a joy, you know, for her tenure there as behind the scenes, and even as an on-screen personality. She's always been very entertaining and done an awesome, amazing job.
Slapping
so
shit out of people. Just
the fuck. Yeah. Great. I've always enjoyed Stephanie. So amazing. So shout out to Stephanie. Before we move on to the dirt sheets, you got anything to say about the Stephanie side?
I would just add this. Well said, brother. Yeah, she definitely put in that work. She you know, I guess she wanted to take some time off now. It's because she was going to do it, you know, initially, but now everything happened, and now the dead is back. Forever, how that optics work, how the optics work, but how the optics look, I get it. You know what I'm saying? People could speculate how that looks, maybe between the relationship between father and daughter. Yeah. But I'm just gonna focus on Stephanie, because rightfully so, about, you know, what she gave to the company, man. You know, some strong leadership for the women. I enjoyed it when she was an on-screen personality, especially at SmackDown GM. She definitely brought a different type of energy and a different type of format to differentiate between the two rosters at the time. We was doing the whole brand-to-brand split for the first time dynamic. So even from that perspective, I enjoy that. But just, you know, just her, just what she contribute to WWE, man, I appreciate it. And plus, this is the clip, sums it all up for her.
I'm built differently.
We salute you, Stephanie.
Absolutely. All love, all positivity, good vibes to Stephanie McMahon.
You're like a real estate agent next to this sign.
No, not the intent.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Shout out to Stephanie McMahon. All right, now this whole thing with the potential sale of WWE.
Saudi. They want to Saudi. Go to Saudi. Saudi.
It's 90% bullshit.
Man, we've said it before, and we're going to say it again. Fuck the dirt sheets, okay? And I'm going to add to that. I mean, they're part of dirt sheets too, but any of these outlets that come out and they start spewing that bullshit and do breaking news, we heard here that they sold the company and we're going to have this live stream. Yes, I'm talking specifically about Wrestle Talk put some shit out there, right? Breaking news. Hey, they sold the company. Wow, what's going on? And they were doing this whole live stream. And I'm just like, you guys are part of the problem, right? You're part of the problem because sources said that this happened. Like, what the fuck? And this is so irresponsible because y'all know how the wrestling community is. You know that people are going to lose their minds, lose their shit, and it's going to get toxic as fuck with the things that people are going to say on Twitter, on your comments, and you're letting people.
I can't believe this. I'm through with Saudi. I'm through with WWE.
With WWE, like, what? Just have it confirmed first, guys. They are not going to just sell the company and not say anything about it. They're a publicly traded company. They're going to have to tell the stockholders that they're selling the company. So the idea that we're just going to get surprised by, or someone has to break the news first before we all. Like, all these outlets got to calm down. Wrestle Talk, chill out. Dirt Sheets, chill out.
Even some of these podcasts, bro. I was just.
That's what I'm saying. They're like,
how's y'all just
like
spewing this bullshit
in good conscience?
And then
you guys are
actually then retract the statement. Oh, it's my fault. We got worked up. No, motherfucker, you a puppet. Y'all some puppets.
I think it's even worse than that, though, honestly, because I feel like it was on purpose. They know, hey, this is not confirmed, but we have enough here that we can go online and get views and get people, to click on this, and it'll help our channel. It'll help our podcast. It'll help our show. Look, our show, I love doing this show. And there's so much joy that this show brings me, right? And I want this show to be as big as it can be. I want everybody, that can hear our show, that can see our show, to hear it and see it. But if this is the type of shit that I gotta do to be on that level, because I recognize that some of these shows are have a lot more viewers and a lot more subscribers than us. That's cool. But if that's what I got to do to get to that point, then damn all that. I'm cool with just the community we have here because it's special enough as it is right now. And that's just how I feel about that. I'm not about to go and sell my soul and just say some bullshit to try to get people to click on
views.
some
Come
shit.
to my channel, subscribe, hit that like button.
No.
I'm not making myself clear. I don't give a fuck.
I want
about
people
spreading positivity here.
Yeah, I want people to be able to trust that what we're saying is real shit. You know, like I don't want people to come to us and just be like, oh, all they're saying is like bullshit that's just not true or this or that. We're here to just have fun. You know what I'm saying? We're fans and we're here to have fun and talk about wrestling and just share the love of wrestling that we have with people out there, right? And be a pillar of positivity for people in the wrestling business. So for me, it's just like all these places that just decide, hey, we're about clickbait, we're about views by any means necessary. It's like
news, McDonald bought WWE.
Yeah, exactly. Like what the fuck? You might as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So all respect, like I get it. Like some of these companies, they've some of these podcasts, some of these, whatever reporters, they've worked hard to get to where they're at. And they've achieved what they've achieved, and that's cool and that's fine. But have some integrity, have some patience, and understand that you have a responsibility that when you report something like that, people are taking that shit as fact because you are on that like platform where people see you and say, oh, well, they said it. It's got to be true. And then people get to arguing and bickering and getting toxic. Yeah. And then you want to come on, like I saw, and I feel like I'm attacking Wrestle Talk right now, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. After they had said that bullshit, then I see another video where they're saying, well, everybody just calm down. You guys caused that shit. You guys caused it. Take responsibility. We fucked up. That's on us. And don't do that shit again. But then it's like, this isn't the first time that I've seen some shit like that from them or other outlets like that. It's just like, guys.
Remember I got bamboozled by the dirt sheets and I took accountability. I said, that's on me. I fucked up. Next time, I should have vetted it next time. And that's all you got to do. And that was me. All right.
That's it. You know,
Fuck
like,
dirt sheets,
that's
man.
what I want. And it's just, again, I can't say it enough that there is a responsibility that I feel like you can't shy away from when you put some stuff out there like that and the reaction that it causes in people. They're taking your words and now taking an action and, going at each other in these ways because there's people that are going to have difference of opinions. And now you just started this internet fight and like people losing their minds and going crazy and being disrespectful to one another. You contributed to that, so that's why I feel like, apologies are definitely necessary. And just the next time, like going forward for this whole thing with the sale, you guys just need to shut the fuck up. Like, don't say anything until it is confirmed, until WWE comes out and says that they might end up selling to Saudi. They might do that. But damn it, at least let them be the ones to report that shit first. And then we can just have a conversation about what that means going forward.
What was crazy is I'm just watching this from afar and I'm just sitting back, just looking, smiling because they're just treating it as truth, as truth.
I was shocked.
And I'm
I was
just
shocked.
And I come to the realization that, man, Twitter is just a cesspool of fucking opinions without putting facts first. Like, all right, we don't care about truth. We care about public opinion. Public opinion says WWE sold to Saudi. They're going to run with that shit.
Yeah, because it's
according to my sources, according to high-ranking sources, my inside sources, what my sources say, never put a fucking name to it. There's always sources, and people take that as truth. And and I put blame on people, period, on both sides. The people that's taking that as truth, and the people that's putting it out there as truth, or just causing chaos. You know what I'm saying? For no fucking reason, or for a reason, for the views, for the clicks.
Yeah, exactly. And here, so some of the outlets that I saw, Wrestle Talk included, were citing specific people and other insiders that had said this is what it went down, right? But at the same time, like, okay, so if a handful of insiders who sometimes get it right say something happened, that still doesn't make it true. Like, that's still not enough. Like, those people are trying to get clicks. Those people are trying to like, oh my, I want to be the first one to break the story, right? So they're putting that shit out there. So now your own journalistic integrity is on the line when you say, okay, they said it, now we're gonna put it out too.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like, hey, even when you get a handful of these people who are so quote unquote insiders saying this, you still have to take a second to say, well, why not just wait and get something confirmed, something from Vince, something from, you know, Nick Khan, something from WWE official. Yes, because they can't keep that seat. They can't just like sell it and then not say anything ever. They literally would have to, because it's a publicly traded company.
Yes,
the stockholders,
have to announce the
they have to know, right? So once that is announced, then let's have the conversation. But jump into the speculation, especially them selling to Saudi, which people are going to have such a negative response to. Like, I just feel like they just need to calm down and just say, hey, maybe this wouldn't be the right way to do this, to just jump on this speculation and throw it out there as fact. Even the one of the guys there, they said, well, you know, reportedly at the end of it, they said, hey, you know, WWE sold to Saudi. I mean, the headline said WWE sold to Saudi Arabia, but then they said WWE sold to Saudi Arabia reportedly, but then they continue to proceed with the rest of the breaking news live stream.
That's
like
what they do. That's what they do.
And I'm like,
yeah,
what are we doing? Like, this didn't happen. Let's just calm down. But you just want those views, you want the clicks, and you made the wrong decision.
Like,
so
I just want some accountability for it.
That's the thing.
That's the frustration for me,
right?
Because you take I see it on there. I see it on Twitter. It's like everywhere, like fucking cesspool. That I see a rumor, not even a rumor, or they go and treat it as truth. I'm gonna retweet it or requote it and say like breaking news, or take the screenshot of it, take the thumbnail, and say, hey, this was from Fightful.com. This was what Sean Ross Sapp said. David Metzler.
Meltzer.
Raking. Just today, Fightful came out with another dirt sheet.
Oh shit!
They put it in the group meet I'm in, and they said, oh, Triple H had a meeting.
Oh
with
the
talent, just to let everybody reassure everybody, you know, hey, nothing's happening. I'm still headed to creative.
Nothing's changing with creative. I saw that.
Yeah, I'm just like, man.
And I had, and it's crazy because I had to double take that, because at first I thought, oh, maybe Triple H had put this out there, but no, it's an insider saying this is what Triple H said, and it's like, I just, you know, that's where the internet is great and terrible at the same time, because you know, back in the day before the internet, like it would just be magazines, so there wasn't this instant like, hey, we're gonna post this thing out and get these clicks. But now with the internet, it's just like, all right, someone gets reported source to say something, they can put it out immediately, and then I'm sitting here scrolling and it pops up and I'm like, what? And I click on it.
It's the age of information, man, because I see too many TikToks of, hey, breaking news, this is WWE reportedly sold to Saudi Arabia. I get it if from a podcast perspective, if you want to go out there and announce it, but you got to have some accountability to say, hey, and treat it as, well, this is just rumors. Put a bylaw to clarify that this is a fucking rumor. Don't say this is a report. Don't say this is from a source. Just say like, hey, this is a rumor. Okay?
Yeah.
I would respect you a lot more if you put that and clarify that this is a rumor.
Right. There is nothing saying that this actually happened. Like, I think Ariel Helwani had put out like, look, there's nothing saying that this actually happened. like literally, he was like, this did not happen. Like, nothing is saying this actually happened.
Crime wave in Gotham. Other breaking news. Water wet.
I like that one. I like that one. All right. So, yeah, just accountability, y'all, you know, because at the end of the day, what it ends up doing to a lot of fans, too, is then they stop trusting you. You know, now I look at everything that they put up there and I'm just like, is this real? Should I even click this? Or is it going to be bullshit? You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you. Like, fuck the dirt sheets. I don't even care. Whatever they say, like, take it with a grain, 2 grain, you know, multiple grains of salt, you know, whatever you read on there. It's all rumors. We don't know until we hear it from the source.
I'm going to clarify this. If you're a podcast, if you want to go out there and report dirt sheets. Just be responsible and let people know it's a rumor.
Right.
And that shouldn't even dictate, your opinion about that. About like the rumor shouldn't dictate your opinion about WWE at that moment. But they let it happen though. They're like, oh, WWE, they sold to Saudi, and this is how I feel about it, even though it's rumors. Like, nah,
right,
man.
right.
Nah,
because we know,
just wait, hold off.
Yeah, there's so much to it. There's so much to it that there's a big responsibility. You have to take responsibility for that. For anything, any rumor you're going to report on, be clear about it. Be transparent about it. We don't know. This is just a rumor. It could be a strong rumor. Multiple sources that sometimes get it right are saying this, but it's a rumor.
So everybody he's always right 90% of the time. I don't give a fuck, man. A broken clock is right 2 times out of the fucking day, man. Congratulations.
Right.
Congrats. You want to
And then you just end up looking stupid at the end when they say, nope, it didn't happen. It's like all that shit.
They didn't know about Adam Cole. Somehow they didn't know about Adam Cole.
Right. We didn't get that, but they know that WWE was sold to Saudi. Get the fuck out. Like, come on. And again, it may end up happening, but damn, like to report it the way you did, and then it's a rumor, and it's not. Just take some accountability. That's it. All right, moving on. All right, let's get back into some fun and talk about some damn wrestling.
More horrible than
well, really, you should say that. Funny you should say that, Johnny, because we're going to talk about Roman and his boys, his family, the Bloodline.
Family. Perfect time, Johnny.
Your timing, Johnny, is impeccable. Perfect transition. Thank you so much. Johnny's like, damn.
Look when I started now. Probably like, all right, guys.
So, hey, man, this is your time to shine. Usually with the Bloodline, I'm just like, what was Devin's thoughts on the Bloodline this past week? And even tonight, I mean, we could even go towards what recently just happened on SmackDown, because I did see it.
I didn't see I caught like a little bit, maybe the first 6-7 minutes of the match, but I didn't see the finish though.
Oh, okay.
What happened on SmackDown? You
Let
me know what happened.
I saw the finish. Finish. I mean, so this whole thing, obviously, this week with the Bloodline, it's all been about Sami Zayn and his loss for himself and Roman Reigns at the end of 2022. So going into 2023, obviously Roman Reigns had the moment where he questioned Sami Zayn, saying, "Hey, you want to be the tribal chief? You want to be head of the table? You think you can handle the responsibility?" And so he
want to beat me? You think you can beat me? You want to beat me?
Right. And he lost it just like that. There you go. And so Kevin Owens comes out, and he says, "Hey, you're not mad at him. You're mad at me. I want to face you at the Royal Rumble for the title." Then we get that match made official. Then you have Sami Zayn on the outside trying to get into the Bloodline locker room, knocks on the door, can't get in. Finally, Roman Reigns says, "Hey, bring me Sami." Sami's trying to apologize. And Roman Reigns says, "Hey, you know what? Like, I don't accept your apology because I'm the one that should be apologizing, because Kevin Owens was right. It was, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at him, and I'm taking it out on you. So you know what? Sit down, enjoy the match. We're going to watch it together." They watch the Usos tag match. They win. Sami Zayn loses his mind, throws the popcorn everywhere. It's great. But by the way, in the midst of all of that, we had Roman Reigns say, "Hey, wise man, tell Sami Zayn what we thought of, what we came up with." And so the wise man, Paul Heyman, tells Sami, like, "Hey, you got a immense opportunity, a great opportunity to prove yourself to the tribal chief. Think of it, main event, SmackDown, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens." And Sami Zayn like, "Wait, what? Okay, yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Cool." Now tonight we had on SmackDown, and the part I caught backstage was Sami Zayn and Paul Heyman having a conversation, and Sami Zayn, I'm thinking, was trying to say, "Hey, we could have the Usos and Solo support me, helping me out, this and that." And Paul Heyman was like, oh no, the tribal chief thinks, we could do that. We could have the Usos go out there. We could have Solo go out there and help you, but we are trying to show that we have faith in you. We're trying to show we believe in you. And what better way to show that than to have you go out there all by yourself and prove yourself all alone. Like, we believe in you. And Sami Zayn kind of confused, but like, okay, all right. And I'm thinking, oh, this is a setup, man. Sami's going to lose. He's getting destroyed. So we get the match, fire match. Classic Sami and Kevin Owens matchup. Back and forth, hard hitting. Towards the end, I mean, these two guys really have a lot of trust into each other, because some of the moves that they do, like Sami Zayn multiple times did, it was like almost like a dragon suplex or full Nelson suplex, just multiple suplexes to him that dropped Kevin Owens on his neck multiple times. And it's great because the first time they did the multiple dragon suplexes, it was Kevin Owens like popping right back up and hitting Sami with a clothesline. I'm like, oh shit, the crowd's loving it, eating it up. The second time he did this, he hit him with the dragon suplex. Kevin Owens got up to do the clothesline. Sami reversed that, hit him with another dragon suplex. KO is loopy as shit. He does not know where he is. He's going to the corner. Sami Zayn goes to the other corner. He's setting up the haluva kick. All of a sudden, you see Jey Uso bolt to the ring from the crowd, jump in, start putting hands to Kevin Owens. It's like, wait, what? What's going on? Here comes Jimmy. He comes out, jumps him too. Referee rings the bell, calls the match. Sami Zayn's looking like, what? I was supposed to prove myself. And then Jay's like, you did good. You did good. You did your job. You did good. And they're beating the hell out of Kevin Owens. And you got Sami on the outside like, what just happened? Like, because really it looked like Sami had that match won. He was about to win that match, and they stopped him from beating Kevin Owens. That's basically what happened.
Wow.
So Sami's sitting there, and even Jimmy's like, come on, man, let's do the shake. And Sami's like, yeah, I guess, yeah. Like, he wasn't really feeling it. So, and then Solo, right, he wasn't there, but all of a sudden they put Kevin Owens on the table, but they weren't by the table. Solo comes out of the crowd. He stands up on the barricade, and he just runs across the table, splashes Kevin Owens through the table. Shit. And what it looked like was Sami finally realized, this is what I got. This is the family I'm a part of. This is what I got myself into, because these dudes are wild. Right, that's what it felt like. Like, oh shit, what am I in right now? And so they're all putting up the ones, and Sami's like, yeah. I'm like, oh damn.
Oh shit.
We?
Dude, it was good. It was good. And the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm like, Sami, you better play along. You better play along. You better put that one up, Sami. You better fix your face. Fix your face. The tribal chief is watching.
Oh, shit. Wow. See,
so yeah.
That's just immaculate storytelling. Wow.
Yeah.
See, I just don't know where they're going. Yeah. I just don't know where they're going. You think you think, oh, Sami, you could possibly lose. Yeah. All right, and then they're gonna kick him out. Or you could possibly win. Yeah. And then, we fully accept, but hell no, it's a door C.
Yep.
Yeah. We're gonna cause a distraction,
right?
And make Sami question it like, hey, right. I had to fight. You get me all hyped and say I'm being by myself. Yeah. And it sets you up to think you got no support.
Yep.
And you almost had the match when it looked like it.
He looked like he had it.
Looked like it.
He was set up. Kevin Owens was done. He stumbled to the corner, getting ready. The haluva kick was right there for Sami to get. And here comes Jey Uso and causes the disqualification. And I'm like, wait, what?
I love
Why
that.
did they do that?
I love that.
Dude, yeah. You got to see it. You got to see it. It was a heck of a moment. And story-wise, it just adds like a whole new layer to this. Like, did they stop him because they knew he was going to win and they don't want him upstaging Roman before he goes to face him in Royal Rumble?
He don't want that, man. He reserved his anger for the people that gets personal, people that get personal with him.
Right.
Like, you see him snap at Seth, Edge, KO, but it's not for everybody. He didn't snap at Cesaro when, Cesaro had him in his fight. Not even John Cena. But I know that he reserved that anger, and you saw it last week when he was like, hey, you want to be me? You want to do things like me? You want to be the tribal chief? Like, holy shit. And I love the reaction. You see Paul Heyman like, oh my God, no.
You can see it building slowly with Paul too, because as soon as he started talking about, he wanted to talk about last year, Paul's expression changed. He was like, oh no. And he slowly went to the back and he was like at the ropes. And then he's like, why would you call your shot? Like Roman Reigns said, why would you call your shot? Why would you do it? I do that. Why would you call your shot? And you see Paul like, oh no. Oh shit. Like,
I was like, that's a good point. Why would you call your shot?
Why would you call your shot? You want to be the tribal chief? He's like, oh no. And I love, and Solo through this whole thing is always arms crossed, like,
I don't know what that man thinking.
Solo knows. That's all. It's Solo knows.
Only Solo knows.
Only Solo knows.
Yes.
Oh man. So hey, great story. We'll see where they're going with this, but overall, I just feel like it was a lot of fun tonight. What they did and all the build up from the previous SmackDown and the Raw before that, leading up to this, awesome, phenomenal storytelling. So not much more really to say to that. We'll maybe bring them up one more time when we talk about the new #1 contenders for them tag team titles. All right, we'll talk about them one more time.
Get them ones up though. It's been a while since they get them ones up. Get them ones up.
There we go.
For the tribal chief head of the table.
Oh man. But hey, let's go on to Roman Reigns' former Shield brother, okay, with Seth Rollins and his current foe, Austin Theory. And basically with these two dudes this week, I just love how both of them came off on Raw. Austin Theory, being cocky, that cocky heel, coming out there, people what him. He's like, you better shut up with those whats and letting people know that he's still champion and just getting that heat. I think he's doing a great job. And I just love this more serious version of Austin Theory. And then he's telling people like Seth Rollins ain't here. He's injured. He's done. Like I took him out. I'm moving on. I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. I'm going to be Universal Champion. He's just talking his shit. And then Seth Rollins' music hits. And that crowd lost their minds. You see Seth Rollins in crutches. But then as soon as, his music really gets into it, he throws the crutch, one of the crutches. He has the other one. He's using it like a guitar. Like, yeah, I'm fine, baby. I'm fine. And then you can see Austin Theory like, no, it's not possible.
Pouty face.
Pouty face. He went full pouty face.
Yes.
So, and Theory too, he was mad as hell saying like, you may be trying to act like you're not injured, but I know you're injured. I know you're hurt. And, I'm going on the Royal Rumble. I'm going to win the Rumble, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, you know what, Theory, you're right. I'm not 100%, but I will be 100% by the Royal Rumble. So we know there's going to be some friction. These two dudes are probably going to be in the Royal Rumble at the same time. So that was cool. And then, he says, like, I really just came out here to hear these fine people sing my song. And on cue, they start singing the song, and Theory's hating this, and Seth Rollins called him a kid one more time, and it's just great. Yeah.
I be feeling that shit like you in a trance.
Oh, it's special. I said to myself while I was watching, I'm like, man, Seth really figured this out. Like to think of where Seth was before with the Fiend and him and that Hell in a Cell.
Oh my God.
To this.
Yes.
Like it's just amazing. It's amazing. And so when you say changing it up and changing your character, that was a person that at that time he really needed that change.
Yes.
Like it was not working at all.
Stories was not hitting, sir.
No,
you need to do something.
He needed to change, and he did. He did. Yeah. He evolved himself a couple times. He was that Messiah character.
I enjoyed. It wasn't for everybody, but I
enjoyed that. Yes, we enjoyed that here on the show. And then now to the visionary, the revolutionary, and just people singing his song and him just being this cackling, laughing, like mind game playing, just tweener character. He's not a heel. He's not a face. He's just Seth freaking Rollins, and it works for him. Yeah,
man, he comes out to the crowd. I love the crowd reaction because they're just totally into it. You see their arms just looking behind them. Yeah, but get your arms up. Make sure you're doing the oh.
Right. Everybody get into it. Get into it.
If I'm at Monday Night Raw, I'm standing up. I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah. And I love some of his fans too, man, really get into it with the whole attire and the glasses and the laughing. I saw this one with a kid who was like basically him, and he like Seth Rollins noticed him at a dark show or at a live show and just, you know, took pictures with him and everything. And I'm like, oh man, that's cool. So yeah, just Seth, he has figured it out. Seth freaking Rollins, do your thing. Austin Theory is figuring it out, and he's still ascending and getting to that level. So shout out to him as well in this. Both these guys killing and do a great job. And there was a third party in this whole thing, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Yeah. We got a couple more to get through here, and including the fighting champion, Charlotte Flair, the return of Charlotte Flair. So I don't really even think we've talked about this in depth yet, but
no, not really.
So Charlotte Flair is the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Yes. She did beat Ronda Rousey on SmackDown to become the new champion, kind of her re-debut and, you know, new music, you know, adding a different flair, a different feel to Charlotte Flair. So, you know, it just the energy from it is really cool. And the energy from her is I'm feeling it right now. Her with Sonya Deville, it was so crazy.
That trick.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Sonya Deville comes out to try to challenge Charlotte Flair, and shout out to that Atlanta crowd.
That's Memphis. It was Memphis.
Memphis. Right, Memphis. Shout out to that Memphis crowd saying whoop that trick, and shout out to Charlotte recognizing that, hearing it, saying, yup, I hear you. Like, trick, she a trick. I think they're calling you a trick.
Oh, if you notice.
Oh man, I love that.
Get him, whoop that trick. Get him, whoop that trick. Oh
man, Hustle and Flow. Shout out to Hustle and Flow, man.
Hey man.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Dude, it's my shit.
We do in the Cartridge Wrestling Podcast.
So yeah, Charlotte, man, she's killing it. She's got that right energy. She went out there. Sonya Deville challenged her. She said, "All right, cool. You want to do this? Let's do this right now." She took the challenge. She beat her. You know, and now Sonya, she's still coming back saying, you know, hey, I want another match. You know, I can do it. I can do this too. You got Adam Pearce being like, look, Charlotte came out there last time, called her shot against Ronda Rousey. You went out there and you called your shot against Charlotte. The only difference is she won. So why the hell am I going to give you a rematch? And I said, yeah, Adam's got a point. I mean, damn.
So you're basically saying you want me to go in the Royal Rumble and face other 29 women? He was like,
it earned my opportunity.
Yep. He was like, yep.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm glad we finally on the same page. But she wasn't having that. She jumped like, Charlotte in the back.
I will find another way to get my rematch. I was like, okay.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's entertaining. I'm just going to say that. Sonya Deville doing what she's doing is entertaining. It does not make any logical sense why she would get a rematch after getting beat the way she did.
You're trying to she got beat clean.
It's so pathetic. It's just pathetic. At that point, it's just pathetic. Like, really? You got beat clean. Get to the back of the line. What are you doing?
You weren't having that though, man. She was like, I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna find a way.
Right. She found her on site and said, yeah, let's throw some shit at her randomly.
Yeah, bitch, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I guess if you piss Charlotte off enough, she'll be like, fine, let me whoop that trick again one more time. I give her a rematch, fine. So it's nothing's been made official that I've seen, but it's probably going to happen one more time.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just not gonna try to catch Charlotte on sight. You think ain't nothing gonna happen? But I like how Charlotte responded because she looked badass. She was like drinking because she was whipping her ass.
Right.
They squaffed for a minute and then she would yeet her ass over.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, we're done. And then she'll turn her back. And then you see Sonya. She had something in her hand. Bitch.
Yeah, right. I was like, I don't even know what it was, but I'm like,
I don't know what it was. They're scrapping again. Scrapping again. Charlotte yeeted her again.
Oh, dude. It was great. It was great. Just like I said, pure entertainment.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. It. And two, before they got into all that, or actually even the week before, Charlotte had a promo, and in the beginning of that promo, she was talking about just how, you know, everything changed. Basically, the thing I took from it was she makes the championship, right? And that the status that she has is what makes it what it is. And she's gonna, as she always does, try to take the women's division to that next level, you know. So what I do feel like is, you know, Ronda Rousey, you know, she was champion and she tried to do her thing, and we had Alexa Bliss before that. Charlotte is on a different level than both of them. And when she's champion, it does elevate everything. It feels a little bit different than it does with a Ronda or with an Alexa Bliss. So get on her level is basically what I took from that promo.
Step it up. Step it up.
Right.
Take over.
Right. So shout out to
being her fighting champion for to be a face. That's right up her alley. That's
perfect.
She do bangers. She put bangers on.
Yes. So hey, shout out to Charlotte on that. All right, now keeping it to the women. All right, Alexa Bliss and Uncle Howdy. What is going on? What is going on?
Uncle Howdy.
I mean, we won't spend too much time on this, but you know, Alexa Bliss was cutting a promo post the beatdown on Bianca Belair the week before, saying, "Hey, now Bianca knows that, you know, I'm the one to fear, not a Bray Wyatt." And then she looked at Corey Graves and she says, "I'm the face of evil." Right. So it was cool. I appreciated it. The way she came out there and she kind of stood her ground and saying, "No, it's about me." But then you had Uncle Howdy put together one of his vignettes, and it was basically all I could think of was Bane in The Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight.
Where he puts his hand on that one dude's shoulder and he's like, "Do you feel like you're in control? Do you feel like you're in control?" There we go. I had to do that voice. Do you feel like you're in control? That's basically what he was saying. He's like, "Do you feel like you're in control?" And I'm just like, oh shit. And here he came, and he's got the like just looking like the evil Monopoly man over here, man. Like, man, with the top hat,
man, that's at her face ass.
I was just seeing around like evil Monopoly man. Like, look at oh man, but yeah. So I love it. I love the storytelling here as well. Yeah. Just keeping the story from what happened before with Bray Wyatt and Alexa at that WrestleMania, and Alexa basically turning on Bray Wyatt, and they're showing her, Alexa's playground and shots of her back then, linking that all together. Like, that story is not over. Like, and you
ain't done. I ain't finished.
Maybe exactly. You may think you're done. You may think, oh yeah, no, you're your own person now, and you're good, and whatever. It's about you.
You the face of fear. You.
Yeah, right. You the face. Like, oh really? Oh really? Let's put that shit to the test. So I'm digging it, man. Where are you at with this?
Same. I love storytelling. Especially the Uncle Howdy, the Bray Wyatt dynamic, and now how that's connecting with Alexa Bliss.
Yeah,
beautiful, man. Compliments to the chef right there, because I'm enjoying this, and now the slow burn is starting to pay off. I'm like, all right, we're progressively getting there.
It's like we're ramping up now.
Yeah,
like starting to pick up a little bit.
Yeah. It's like in the third gear.
Exactly. He's showing up now, and he's actually like playing the mind games with them in person. Showed up, and Sister Abigail, Bray Wyatt, and now here with Alexa. Like, it's not just videos on the screen. Like, he's showing up in arenas, and she's seeing him in the flesh. Like, this is cool. I want to see where I can see where they're going with it with Bray, where they're going with it with Alexa. I'm like, where are they going to go? Is she going to join up with them? Are they going to be a faction? Or is it like they're just going to get, or Bray's going to get his revenge on her for what she did? Or Howdy's going to get his revenge because he was behind it all along?
That's the beauty of it.
Like, yeah, just storytelling.
Yeah.
There's so many ways this can go, man. I am
layers.
definitely intrigued. Yeah. So we're gonna keep an eye on it. We're gonna keep tracking the story and go with it because it's been fun. And yeah, we've got the lights out, or the what is it called? The no lights, dark match, something like that.
Sponsored by Mountain Dew. I know that. It's sponsored by Mountain Dew.
The WWE version of a lights out match. You know, we're gonna see what that looks like between LA Knight and Bray Wyatt, and I'm sure Uncle Howdy's gonna have something to say about what happens in that match.
Well, LA Knight get the dub. He could come out there saying, "Yeah,
yeah." LA Knight. Oh,
he was
man.
wild right there. He was like, "Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah." I was like, "Bro, you bugging."
Hey, man, but it's awesome. It's entertainment.
You feel that energy though.
That energy.
I was like, "Yeah."
Right. He's doing his thing, man. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Oh, man. Speaking of doing his thing, Bobby Lashley was back doing his thing on Raw, made a surprise return. And it seems that return is because of one MVP who met up with Bobby in the back and was like, yo,
we having technical difficulty. We got him back. All right. There we go.
Oh, you lost me again?
Yeah, we did. I did. I was like,
oh damn.
We good though.
All right.
Just
so
like that.
Bobby Lashley, made a return at Raw, and MVP basically, was like, hey, first of all, you're welcome for bringing you back into the WWE, getting you reinstated. Bobby's like, thank you. But then Bobby kept letting him know, like, hey, I haven't forgotten anything. Like, I appreciate you, but I haven't forgotten anything. And, MVP was like, cool, I can respect that. But, I know you got some business to take care of. But if you ever want to expand that business, you let me know. And he's already been talking to Sheldon and talking to Cedric and having conversations with them. So the Hurt Business returns. We coming back. We bringing it back. You believe it? You believe it this time? Because we've been okie doke a couple times with this, but this is under Papa H now.
Yeah, right. Which I see how he's treating the story. Like, we're gonna build to this. It's not gonna be like a random, Hurt Business back together. Like,
right?
Where the fuck did this come from?
Right.
It's gonna be a purpose. The reasons why they come back together, which I'm cool. So we're gonna make it more engaging with the crowd. So they got something to sink their teeth in for this story. So I'm cool with that because I do want the Hurt Business back, man.
Right.
I missed that since the PC days. The PC.
I was gonna say since the pandemic, they were around during the pandemic. Yeah, and they were cut way too short. That faction was awesome. Like before Judgment Day, that was like that second best faction in WWE. Yeah, they were great. Actually, they were a little bit before the Bloodline was even officially a thing.
Yeah.
They were there before Bloodline was.
When they came in there and Raw Underground just wreaking mayhem.
Yeah,
that's how they came
exactly. That's crazy. They predate the Bloodline. So yeah, to see potentially this faction coming back, and especially for Shelton and Cedric. Those two seem to be really lost in the shuffle ever since they were no longer in the Hurt Business. Yes. So for both of those guys to get, back into this faction with MVP and Bobby, it just makes so much sense. And, shout out to Shelton. I think it was 20 years that he celebrated recently in WWE, which is amazing. So shout out to him. And he said he's not done. He had a nice promo, where he thanked the fans and said he is not done by any means. So shout out to him. And yeah, this just seems like a perfect way for him to continue his career being a part of a faction like this. So I'm all for it. Make it happen. Hurt Business returns. Let's change that question mark, make it an exclamation point, and stamp it. It is decided. Yes.
There we go. Oh, I love it. It is decided. Yes. I'm all for the Hurt Business to come back, to return back to the unity. The unity. that we yes, that we need, that we want. You know what I'm saying? And when it came out, just look, you knew these guys were important, just the way they dressed. They dressed the part, all in suits. This graphic right here, I want to get back to that. When they all had gold. You know what I'm saying? When they all had gold. I missed that. You know, even though it's one faction, when that happens, 50 years from now, I don't know.
50 years from now,
damn. That's that forever.
You just said you want to see them all with championship, but now you're saying 50 years.
I know, but I love my tribal chief though. That exceeds everything.
Oh man. Well, we'll see. Is it gonna be 5 years from now, 50 years from now? We'll see. But one faction that's trying to make that right now is the Judgment Day, which are your new #1 contenders. Yes, with Prison Dom right up front and center. Man, he found Conan's flannel and said, yeah, I'm gonna rock this straight off a hard time.
You think this is a game to me? I served hard time.
Hard time.
Hard time.
Hard time.
6 hours in jail.
Hey, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. All right.
Spent a quarter a day in jail, man. He came out hard as hell. I relate to
that was a lifetime for Dom. In his mind, that was a lifetime. The things he saw, man. The top bunk hearing his bunk mate talking about, yeah, I'm gonna punch this dude in the face. He jumped down and said, hey man, we got a problem. He slapped him awake. Hey, wake your ass up. We got a problem. That didn't happen.
Mom. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Call for your mama.
That's what happened. That's what happened. That is what happened. That same story, but the real version.
Yes.
Damn.
Because I was reading between the lines when Dom said, I had to do what I had to do.
Right.
What do you mean by that? Huh? What do you mean by that, huh?
We don't talk about that. Oh no. Dom. It's okay, Dom. You're out now. You're out now. It's okay. So we had tag team turmoil. Multiple tag teams involved. Yeah, and it was a great tag team turmoil. They did a great job with it. And Judgment Day were there in the beginning, and they made it all the way to the end. Finn Balor had an injury. His ribs was hurt. He was hurt, man. You a doctor? Stop squeezing so hard.
Man was not having it.
He was not
having it, bro.
Man, and then Adam Pearce comes out. He's like, well, first he's like, oh, he can't compete. That's it. You have to forfeit. And he's forfeiting the side. He sees Dom. He's like, well, how about this? I'll let y'all compete if Dom replaces Finn. And Damian Priest, him too, he was funny. At first, he was like, no, we're not going to give this up. I'll do this myself. Then Adam Pearce said that, and he paused. He hesitated. Damian Priest hesitated. He's like, okay, I guess so. That's fine. And he looked at Dom. He said, just don't be soft. Rhea was like, what you say? What you doing? Like, don't say that shit to him.
No, I'm talking about Dom.
I'm built differently.
Oh man, it was great. And so Dom too, man, he was like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not like he's dressed. He's dressed to wrestle.
You got gear on.
He's got gear on. I'm not ready. No, I'm not. Then they're trying to hype him up. Like, you got this. You got this. Do it for the Judgment Day. He's like, okay.
He's like, look at Finn. He's like, He was selling the shit out the ring.
Oh man, dude, he was selling. Yeah, he was selling. Man, and then I forgot I didn't remember seeing Street Profits picture in that picture for the tournament. Yeah. And their music hit. I said, oh hell no. Yeah. This ain't happening. The Street Profits are not losing to this crew. There's no way. Yep. And they had a banger. They had a banger. Those two teams, man, they went at it.
Okay, that time alley-oop. It's like, here, you take it, Dawkins. Bow.
Right.
Montez.
That was Montez. Yeah. Dawkins threw him to Montez.
Bow. I was like, holy shit.
That was crazy. Shout out to Angelo Dawkins and his athleticism, because there was a point where he jumped over the top rope and basically landed on his feet on the outside right in front of the announce table and kind of stood there like, what you thought? This ain't a game? Like, I do this. Like, Corey Graves lost his mind like, what? What was that? What was that? And I'm like, I'm saying the same thing. Like, what? I had to rewind that multiple times. I'm like, hold on. I need to see that again. Because it was clean. And he got so much air on that. Like, this dude
overshot it.
Almost, right.
Damn near overshot it.
I don't think he knew.
Careful.
Be careful. He did not even understand his own athleticism. I don't think he knew what he was capable of. Because when he did that, he could have landed on the table. He literally could have landed on the table. But shout out to him, man. That was a hell of a spot. And then even later on, you have Montez Ford do that spot where he does basically the same thing. He jumps over the ring post. And that always scares me every time he does that. I'm like, man, you are this close to messing that up. But
he almost did. If you saw the slow-mo.
Yeah, he had to put his hands down.
He had to put his hands and project himself.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Right. That could be a disaster. Right. But he did. He recovered. They did a 450, a little bit after that too.
Yeah.
Just
like his wife. 450, just like his wife.
Yeah. Those two, like, man, just Angelo and Montez, those guys are great. One day, we'll figure it out, as far as like what to do with the Street Profits, because it feels like they're in a spot right now where, they're just there, but they're so talented, both on the mic and in the ring, that I think they'll be fine.
The tag team division right now is in a holding pattern because of, the Usos. They're holding it down for both divisions. They're undisputed tag team champions, rightfully so.
Well, and
until
now
we get there, and then
Well, and now, so number one contenders, because the Judgment Day did beat the Street Profits. So now we get to see, which I think is going to end up being Prison Dom and Damian Priest having to compete against the Usos. Not Finn.
Be like,
right. I think that's what's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing the Bloodline versus the Judgment Day, the two dominant factions in WWE going against each other. That's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully they get some promos back and forth against each other too to build up to that match. And I want to see Tom talk shit to the Bloodline. I want to see what that looks like.
I'm built differently.
Oh, man. Cannot wait.
He going to tell the Tribal Chief.
You think this is a game to me? I served hard time.
I just thought this whole time I was not actually thinking about Dom talking shit to Roman Reigns. I was talking about him versus the Usos.
I know.
But now that you put that in my head, I want that.
Dom gonna talk that shit though. He gonna, you know how Dom is, man. He get over his head. He gonna talk that shit. He gonna talk to the Tribal Chief. I can't wait for it. I'm here for it.
They're gonna be calling me Tribal Chief. I'm the head of the table. Right. That's what I want. That's what I want. I need a promo battle between Dom and the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. I need it.
Oh man, that's where we at.
Let's make it happen.
Promo battle.
Make it happen.
Wow.
Let's go, Papa H.
It is decided. It is decided. Here we go.
Oh man.
Woo.
Dude, we'll see. But yes, fun stuff happened this week, and we're on the road to Royal Rumble and on the road to WrestleMania ultimately. So cannot wait. Got a lot of cool stuff, to look forward to in wrestling. But hey, as far as this episode, man, that's it. That's all our topics for this episode. You got anything else to add before we call it a show?
Had a fun time as always, man. Especially, about our inside sources letting us know about what's really going on at WWE.
Oh, man. Inside sources, boy.
I thought this is the perfect title for tonight's episode.
No, that's perfect. Oh, yeah. The week we had from sources, the sources no. This was their week. It was the week for the inside sources for sure. For sure.
Man.
My goodness.
Twitter, man. Y'all some dumb motherfuckers, man. I'm sorry. I'm not going to hold my tongue. I'm just going to be direct. Dumb motherfuckers to believe sources.
Facts. Facts. But that is going to do it. Our inside sources tell us that is the end of the show. Right?
Inside sources. Start the music.
Yeah, inside sources say Clark Street Wrestling Podcast live stream is done. But they also say before they go, they usually have Devin tell the people where they can catch them.
Okay, hold on. My inside sources are telling me we have a website with a lot of social media outlets where you can get to on the website. So let me go down the list for y'all. My inside sources tell me. All right,
sources. I'm seeing that here too on Twitter.
We got Instagram. All right, we got Facebook. Shout out to our Facebook group community, Clark Street Wrestling community. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Christian. Holding it down in the weekly threads for Monday Night Raw, for NXT, and of course, Friday Night SmackDown. And can't forget about that Twitter. I think we just crossed 1,800 followers on the Twitter. You know what I'm saying?
That's what sources say. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Confirmed by sources.
Confirmed.
Right, by sources. And raw shit. The sources to say we got to talk about TikTok. The TikTok.
TikTok.
What the sources say?
TikTok. Fuck the dirt sheets. TikTok.
Yes. Also, the sources also said you can find the audio podcast of the Clark Street Wrestling show. The video format of the show. ClarkStreetWrestling.com. ST for the abbreviation. Brought to you by our sources.
Yes.
And of course, hey, I got you, sources. I'm gonna talk about the merch.
Get your merch. Wait. Yeah, get your merch. They said
Get your merch.
Yes. Confirmed. Get your merch.
For our inside sources, we got merch. Hey, all right. Get your shirts. Oh, shit. What they say? Inside sources, stay your ass off that hot ass sand.
Oh, yeah. They say the sand is hot, so get your ass off it. That's what sources told me.
Sources say it is not a good look.
Sand is hot.
Yes. Get your
Water
ass
is wet.
off that hot ass sand by the sources.
Confirmed by sources.
Yes. If you're in the Midwest, if you're up there freezing your ass off, by the sources is what they say. Get the Clark Street Wrestling hoodie so you can stay warm, stay.
Sources say to stay toasted.
By the sources. All right. ClarkStreetWrestling.com/store for your pleasure. Confirmed by the sources. It is decided by me, not by the sources.
Yeah. Damn those sources. Damn the dirt sheets.
Damn dirt sheets.
That's gonna do it. Confirmed by us. Yes, fuck them sources. Confirmed by us. I'm Hafeez for Devin. We'll catch you guys next time. For Devin, catch you guys next time. Peace.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast, brought to you by our inside sources. Yeah. Hey, trust our sources. They're worthy. They're legit. Our inside sources. Plug a debate. Hey, our inside sources tell us the debate is coming soon. We got to debate Jay White. Actually, you know what? Our sources say Ivan conceded.
Ooh, I got inside sources. Yes, inside sources said he conceded. He's giving up. He said, "Nope, don't want to do that. Nope, not Jay White.
No more
I don't want none of that."
For Jay White debate, that is completely off the table, confirmed by our sources.
Hey, sources said it's got to be true.
Yeah.
Hey,
sources also tell us, hey, another debate. MJF versus Tribal Chief. It's gonna be Bruce versus not versus Dom. I'm about to say Dom.
Oh yeah, sources. You know, who knows? I think they said that
you don't
too.
know about these sources. Tribal Chief, Devin the Heel Dude, me. We will do our match. It will happen. You already know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be slaughter. It's not even fair. He's boring. He's boring right now. Change it up, Bruce. Help the guy out. He's the newly champion, man. You know who's the real champion. You know what my sources say.
Them sources are trolling. Sources are trolling right now.
Yes. Hey, trust our inside sources.
I'm out of here anyway. Peace out.